curious to hear like how each of you were approached about the role and what really attracted you to each of the roles.
I think the most important thing when I wrote the script was the script. I mean, the way it was written was very different from the, we in Italy we do television, of course, but it's not so well written. So that was the first point that attached me to this project. And then the character that is not usually, sometimes Italian characters and rules, Italian characters are a little bit stereotypes like that, and this was not. So actually, was good to deal with something that was not so, stereotypes. Stereotypes is the word? Oh,
yeah.
That's good.
All the training in martial arts is great, but if you've got slippery shoes on hard marble, it doesn't make me happy. And then we started our shoot in a place called Dubrovnik in Croatia, and this Dubrovnik.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Dubrovnik. Right? No, yeah. Dubrovnik is an ancient city, and the whole city is made of marble, which has been polished down over centuries. So I think I won the award for falling over the most times. Running around the city in my suit and my shiny shoes on this polished marble, the entire city, and there's a big sequence. I think it's episode 4, running around there, and I wrecked a couple of suits. And then the first thing I heard about the project was that Ashley Judd was doing the project, which I thought was great. And I think when I read the script, I saw her very easily and convincingly leading the role of protagonist in the show. So that was really great. And then the other thing is that a lot of TV shows, they offer you a pilot, whereas this was really exceptional. They didn't do a pilot, they did a straight to series. And they offered us a straight 10 episodes, and they were going to shoot more than 10, which is really great because it's like doing a movie. You know how long you're going to be on the job for, and you don't have to sit around once they've done the pilot wondering whether they're going to pick up 3 or 6 or not. So that was very attractive. And then the third thing was that they were filming in Europe, and I'd always wanted to go to Prague, and I love Europe. I used to, from New Zealand when I was a youngster, I always used to like save up, and every couple of years I'd buy a ticket and I'd go to a different part of Europe. So this was like a wish fulfillment. I got to go to Prague, which I'd always wanted to go to, and we went to Croatia and Istanbul. So
Cool.
there's a lot of good things. And then my character, I think, is as he says, it's like we can. Does that answer the first part? Yeah. Okay, yeah.
For me, it was I guess what I would get to do. I'm a fairly small guy, fairly skinny. A lot of guys my size don't get to play kind of cool. Well, I'm not exactly the toughest guy. I got kidnapped, so it's not like. But no. The story itself just kind of I have a very close-knit family, and kind of telling the story of a family that's trying their hardest to stay together, through, the worst case scenarios, and then also just, I saw a lot of myself in the character of Michael, so I wasn't so much approached with it as much as I was jumping for joy when I heard that I got it, and then it was like, next day I was in Prague. It was pretty quick, so it's still kind of a whirlwind, but it was, it was awesome. Dream come true for me. So.
What about the payoff, though? What about the payoff? I mean, because audiences, they're going to want a payoff of some sort, and how do you keep the storyline? You know what I'm asking?
Well, every single episode has its arc. Every single episode has a feeling of resolution without saying, okay, yeah, that's the series, yeah, that's it. I think through every single episode, people are gonna find some resolution and some sort of payoff. But yeah, we gotta keep the show going.
So ABC's kind of promoting the show as a mother, struggling to find her son, but there is such a high concept behind it because she is ex-CIA. So why do you feel that element enhances the story?
I'm the CIA guy in the show, and so there's a great tension, between my character and Ashley's character, because she's got a clear objective, which is to not have anything to do with the CIA and to find her son, but we have all the resources. My job is to sort of get her out of the way, because she's kind of unraveling things. She's pulling at a thread, which is very dangerous in that world. And my job is to get her out of the way and get her back home, and to stop her from. But there's this empathy where my character wants to help her on a personal note, to help her, find her son. So there's this great tension in terms of doing my job, which is to manage the CIA across Europe, and to somehow help this woman find her son, which I'm told not to do. So it's complex. That's the complexity behind it. It's a very important part of the show, and that's the fun part too, because we're talking about spies, which is that's the high concept, isn't it? The simplicity of it. It's a family show. There's a mum looking for a son, but the fun of it is that we're running around Europe, from Paris to Italy to, and we're all spies, and you don't know Interpol, and you don't know who you've been kidnapped by or why you've been kidnapped, and that's the intrigue. That's kind of like that satisfies the entertainment aspect of the show, which I think is cool.